Oh no. No. Since I put up the other video, hi, this is Robbie from Southern California. I've been trying to do the plants and water, and we've got so much wind. I can't even walk in it. I don't think we had this much wind 2 weeks ago. The trees, I don't know if you can hear them, they're howling. I've got a mask on because not just because of the fire smoke that's coming through here, because those two fires, the Pacific Palisades and Eaton, are still burning. So now they've got to deal with this new wind that's coming through right now. Now, if anybody came up here right now and they would throw a cigarette out the window or do anything, even working on power tools and do a spark, this whole area would go up. It has been so windy. I couldn't believe how it changed so fast. I've been watching the palm tree up on top. I don't know if you can see it back there. I'm not sure. It has been swaying and swaying, but I wanted to get the plants watered. Some things are dry. The reason they're so dry, and we're so cold at night, we're like 40 degrees, sometimes 38, is because our humidity is so low. So we may be cold, but let me get out from under this tree. There's a raven's nest up here. And how do I know that? Because there's been a couple hawks flying by. And when they fly by, you can't see it. I'll show you another time. They have been just screaming and going after the hawks. There's the palm tree. Yeah, you can see it. That's not bad because earlier it was leaning so far over, I thought it was going to snap, which would be Gary's dream if it snapped in the right way. I'm telling you, he's looked at that a few times and said, I'm going to drop it. So I don't know if he will end up dropping it. He has been going through and doing all the trees around the property. You can even see how sparse they are right now because he's been removing all of that just in case somebody drove by or, threw something or some embers would come through. He scares me when I see him go out there, like working all weekend. I said, what are you doing? Well, it can come through the canyon, and he's analyzing. It can burn this way. It can go that way. So he says, I've got to get it out. So that's what he was doing. He said he's got to get it out. And that's what he did all weekend, as I told you earlier. The bird garden is really tucked away really nice. So the birds continue to feed here as well as going into the elephant food. See, he's trying to spot elephant food on the hillside as well. And he can break off pieces like this big or bigger, stick them in there, and then they grow. Actually, they're behind me as well. He would like to have the whole hillside with them because that plant just doesn't burn. Now, of course, if there was a big fire, it probably would. But it's very fire retardant. It would kind of skip over, it would burn other stuff because it's so full of water. It's actually an edible plant. Oh boy, it's an edible plant. So some countries use it for animal feed. But when he found out when we had it here, how good it was, he just started planting it everywhere because there was a few plants that were around and he started clearing the hillside of all this other brush that could burn. And he started just spotting it through and watering it. And it's so easy to start, growing that way by propagating. It's quiet for a minute. That he wanted to get it all over the property. So he's working on here along with different succulents and stuff down there. Because succulents, it wouldn't catch as fast. You got other plants that could catch. So I told you already, we had some eucalyptus here, and years ago he took a chainsaw to it and he dropped it and chopped it up. He did not want that. There was one up against the house. He got rid of that right away. Oh my goodness. Let me get rid of my mask. I'll put it in my pocket right now. But I needed to wear a mask because I know you can't see it, but there's a lot of soot in the air. Leaves and branches and then just powdery stuff, because when you go in the house and you walk along the kitchen floor, it goes crunch, crunch, crunch because all the stuff blowing in through the windows. So I can't believe how quickly it has changed. And the canyon is just, as I look down, it's just brown, and that's the bad air quality we've got. It was ironic that I had saw earlier Griffith Park had shut down due to potential fire danger, and about an hour ago or 2 hours ago it caught on fire. I heard they got that one down, so that was good, because now we have enough firemen, and the firemen are fire personnel are wonderful people. They need more, they need better equipment, more equipment, whatever they need to give it to them, and do all these fancy things that they want to do, and they don't even know where half the money is. You don't cut public safety. So they've been doing a great job, and now that there's more fire departments out and about, they got on that Griffith Park fire right away. If they didn't, 15 minutes, that thing would have taken off and could take Griffith Park out. So I don't know if you can see it, but that thing is just swaying. It is so bad, the breeze. There's a few leaves. I think there's about 10 leaves left on it. Years ago, it was all the way down, and Gary started taking it down, and we had a windstorm years ago, and it just took them all off, and he thought, thank goodness, because it was going to cost, like, we couldn't afford it, like $5,000 to clean it. Those will continue to fall off, the few that are there. But it just changed from the other video. I thought, well, maybe it'll miss us, but I looked at the map, and we were in purple. We are in that really bad area, and I told Gary, I said, we're in the really bad area, so that's why I'm clearing everything. So he knew that we are. It can blow as hard as it wants. It could take a lot of stuff, like it did the gazebo and a few other things, but as long as nothing ignites. Now, I am thinking that at any time we could lose power, because I got a call the other day, and they did say that at any time, be prepared that if the winds kick up, we will be shutting off power. So we probably could lose power. We do have a generator, and we've got a lot of power banks, the ones I use for the fountains, that will run my phone, that will run my tablet if it runs out. Lights, I've got lights that will run. There's a lot of stuff it will run. So it works really good, just the power bank. And then I've got that little power unit I use around the yard, and that I could turn the TV on if I wanted to. My internet's got a backup. I put a backup battery on that. So if internet doesn't go out, but I have a backup battery on my internet service, which I put on there, then I can still have internet, which means I can still have a TV or a tablet. Because when power goes out, some people say, well, I have no internet. No, you've got internet. If that didn't go out, you just don't have power to your internet. So I'm kind of all set with that. It's just unbelievable how hard it got all of a sudden. It's like as soon as I finished the video earlier, it just got so hard, and the wind has been howling and blowing and knocking things all over the place. So now we have a little bit of quiet. All right, please, everybody take care. I'm going to go back and I'm going to water my bird garden. I watered a little bit. I watered my rainbow garden that's behind me. And I watered the truck bed and the wall and all my bulbs. I watered the front yard already. And pretty much that's all I've got to do is just the bird garden. The bird garden with the fence and all the plants I put there, it does get wind, but it's like it's all covered. Look at the palm tree. It's just all covered up. So the birds hide in there, and then they hide in all that elephant food that Gary planted on the hillside. And they chatter and scream and make so much noise. That's what caught my eye when I did that video I showed you, because I was walking through and it's like, what are all the birds screaming about? And I realized they're tucked inside the elephant food, which is a succulent. I can show you that. And I guess in case of a fire or wind even, they know that they have a safe place they can hide out. Isn't that something? They're very smart. Probably smarter than people, a lot of these birds. So I'm going to go water the bird garden. Everybody stay safe, and I just pray that nothing catches on fire and no power lines come down or anything. Stay safe. I will keep you up to date. And let me go get my stuff done. Bye-bye, everybody, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. Oh, no. No. Okay, they're bringing in more. I don't smell smoke, but they have brought in more. So let me jump in here and tell you what's been going on. There's been a lot of wind and a lot of fires. San Diego had a massive fire, but they managed to get that one under control. and then there was another fire in Griffith Park. Then there was another one out in the valley. Well, it turned out there was a fire right over that ridge that you can see there, right over there. Now, we didn't know, but all of a sudden we heard the fire department and everything. What probably happened is they were battling the fire right over the ridge, and somebody in our canyon smelled it. Now, the way the wind was blowing out of the canyon, we couldn't smell it. It was going in the opposite direction at that time. So where we're standing on our deck, we didn't smell the smoke at all, but they smelled it down in that gully there, and they called the fire brigade. And sure enough, the firefighters came in full force, and I don't think they found anything there, though they did go with flashlights all along the hillside. We did hear that the fire that was burning right over the ridge, they got into that, and it was on ring cameras and everything, but they managed to knock that thing out in about an hour. So all worked out well, we're okay, and we're still on fire watch big time. And yes, it is scary. So I will say, ironically, now we can really smell the smoke, but from what I understand, the fire's out or pretty much completely under control.